welcome to Too Many Movies, the podcast where we discuss DVDs, Blu-rays, and even the occasional VHS tape. I am your host, Hal, and with me here today is ZaMovieDude.
Hello, everybody. I am the number one fan of a various collection of the greatest cinematic achievements ever made. Batman Ninja, Cats and Dogs, DC League of Super Pets, and the two movies that we will be discussing on this podcast today.
Yeah,
you know what they are, Hal?
I do know, unfortunately. Okay, so ZaMovieDude, welcome to the show. Let's just get started and talk about Marmaduke 2010. For as long as I've known you, which is I don't even know at this point. I think you just showed up on my server one day. I know
Almost a year. Almost a year.
Almost a year. Wow. I know.
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I just for as long as I've known you, you've been affiliated with this certain silly little dog movie called Marmaduke. And I was it. So to give a little background, a little backstory, pull back the curtain, if I will, on how I do this show. I was in my local shop recently, and the local shop I frequent called Bull Moose, which is a media shop in the greater New Hampshire, Maine area. And they sell stuff like records, DVDs, and whatnot. Anyway, I was in one day, and they have this bin, if you will, called the 97-cent bin. And it was just a bunch of shitty, crappy DVDs. And lo and behold, do you know what movie I found in there?
What?
Marmaduke. I saw it, 97 cents. I got it. I thought of you, and immediately I was like, great, now I have an excuse to finally watch both Marmaduke movies to please ZaMovieDude. So I actually have seen the 2010 movie. Like years and years and years ago, I watched it, and I remember nothing about it up until I saw it just recently. But what is your history with the 2010 movie, Marmaduke?
How I discovered Marmaduke.
Yeah, please
Well,
delve.
Well, I remember one point, beginning of last year, where I saw a trailer for the 2022 one, which was scrolling it's saw the 2022 one and what the fuck is this? What is this movie? Looks like one of the worst animated things ever conceived, and I can't wait. I couldn't stop laughing at the trailer. Just about fuck abominable it is.
Yeah.
And then I looked at Letterboxd and I saw the 2010 one. What is this? And then I watched it, and then I watched it another day without looking at any of the cast members. And I am so glad I went into this movie blind, because none of you who have never heard or seen Marmaduke 2010, you're not gonna believe who plays the titular Marmaduke.
Unless you read the Letterboxd page, look at the DVD cover. Well, actually, if you look at the DVD cover that I have of it, the sticker that says 97 cents is actually covering most of the main actor's name. You can see George Lopez is in it, but the other guy, you can't.
Yep, Mr. Electric himself.
Mr. Electric himself.
And the titular Marmaduke is voiced by Owen Wilson. Yeah. Lightning McQueen himself.
Reggie from Freebirds himself is Marmaduke, and boy, he definitely sounds like Owen Wilson voicing a dog.
And I've watched this movie 6 times. I'm not kidding. I watched this movie 6 times. The past year, and
6?
I checked. I think this might be the only wowless Owen Wilson movie.
Oh yeah, so we watched this in a VC session. We watched it on a movie night, and yeah, you pointed out this is like a wowless Owen Wilson movie, which shocked me to my core. It's like, really? Why this movie? Why is this the wowless movie? I don't get it. Oh, oh my God! Like, what a movie from the late 2000s, early 2010s this was. There was so many songs, pop songs that were popular at the time that I completely forgot about because, well, it's not 2010 anymore. It's like this was definitely a blast from the past, I must say. Uh, they played California Love by Tupac, and I was like, yep, because it takes place in California. They have to play that song. And they did. Um, oh, there was another actor in this movie that was a surprise. You were trying to point out who played Maisie.
I was waiting for you to guess.
Yeah, and I did guess.
Like Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Which, can I just say, I swear I had a Mandela effect where I thought Emma Stone played the cat. But George Lopez played the cat. Yeah, no, I knew she was in the movie, but I totally thought she played the cat. But I guess I just misremembered. Like, that was very strange.
Oh wait, there's more. Like you got like Lee Pace, Judy Greer,
Yo, yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland,
Oh,
William H Macy.
oh my God, the fucking cast list of Marmaduke is weirdly stacked. I don't know
I couldn't
why.
I couldn't mention more, but you like anybody who hasn't seen it must experience it from yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. What is Marmaduke? It's just a contrived, typical high school drama story about being popular. Because he's a dog who moves from Kansas to California. He experiences new people, and he wants to be with the cool dogs and not the loser dogs. And then they have a falling out in the third act. Yada yada yada. You've seen the movie. You think you haven't? You've seen Marmaduke. If you haven't seen Marmaduke, you've seen this kind of movie before. It's not anything that special, except maybe because it's about a dog. So I guess that makes it special. You know.
Uh, but those other movies, did they have some of the greatest iconic lines ever?
Well, they did not find China, so I guess that is completely fair.
Or like, what about did they smell a cat? They hate cats.
Yeah, they hate cats because they're dogs. I get it. Uh, but even just like beyond that, they also have the contrived, overworked father cliche where he's just like, "Oh, I'm working for you guys," and then the family's just like, "Yeah, but you're never there for us." It's like, you little assholes, you'd be out on the streets if he wasn't working. Like, of course he's working hard. I've always hated that trope in movies, but it's no different here. It's just as contrived as it is in other movies, I suppose.
And like it's like Lee Pace, like this. Like I've seen the guy, the antagonist in Guardians of the Galaxy, is like as long as I can remember. Like every time I
Yeah,
rewatch that film,
yeah,
now seeing him is in this movie.
yeah. He should have been like Ronan and fucking took his hammer and killed everybody. That would have been awesome. uh, what else happened in this movie? I've already forgotten what happened in the movie. I remember it was long. It wasn't long. It was like only like 80 or so minutes, but I just I mean, anytime it was not on Marmaduke, I was kind of bored because I'm like, oh, it's just a standard human drama. But then it's like, then when Marmaduke was on screen, it was fart jokes and him saying cool lines.
Yeah, you get the introduction where you get introduced to the world of Marmaduke, and then we learn that the dog door doesn't fit. And then when they move to California, not China, sadly,
Yeah,
the
not
dog
China.
door fits. It
Yeah,
fits.
it
And I clap.
fits.
I clap.
He clapped. Oh my god, what a wacky fucking movie this was. In that
Same dog, different floor.
same dog, different floor. We're just naming like quotes from this movie, so we sound insane to normal people. Just
I mean,
uh
that is a pretty good B.
it is a pretty good B. Yeah.
Bees are scary.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, was have you ever read like the original Marmaduke comics? Because this is based off of a
No.
comic. Okay, so because I was gonna ask, like, were bees like a constant threat to Marmaduke in those comics? Because like, why would the movie have them as often as they do? It was just such a strange choice to me that like they really like were driving home the fact that like bees were kind of like a running joke in this movie. And they're a running joke in the next movie. I feel like, well, are they? I don't think they were. The next movie is a whole other beast. We'll get to it when we get to it. Oh my god, but this is such a 2010 movie. Watching it because it's like yeah, it takes place in California. All the stupid pop songs from the late 2000s, early 2010s play. Uh, and especially because you could definitely tell the filmmakers have no clue what the hell YouTube is because I don't know if you caught that at the end. So like there's that scene where uh like Marmaduke gets like swept away by like all the water in the sewer and like the son's friends come riding on their skateboards, because I guess everybody in California rides
Yeah.
skateboards and they're like have a video camera and the kids explicitly says we got it on tape, we're gonna put it on YouTube. Now first of all, the kid has a digital camera, so like yes he would have been able to put it on YouTube, but he said tape because I assume the writers hadn't entered into the 21st century at that time and were just like we're just gonna film something on tape. It's just like you don't put tape on YouTube, it's impossible. That's not how it works.
Like, I'm pretty sure they got on tape like
Oh,
another one,
and
like
then
another iconic line. Like Phil, we started with a bath, now look at
yeah,
us.
now we start with the bad. Now look at us. Actually, the other thing about the YouTube thing is like when William H Macy's just like, "Hey, have you seen your dog's video online? 600,000 views already." It's just like, really, 600,000? Like, I guess maybe in 2010 YouTube that was impressive, but yeah, it really wasn't. Like, it's not like okay, 600,000. Who cares? It's just one of those things where like it's such a time capsule into that weird era where the 2000s were becoming the 2010s because
Yep.
2010 is a very different time than 2019, like
Yep.
oh my god they're so different and yet yeah it's
Like,
just it's such an insane time capsule of that time, I gotta say.
and then they just cut to like the greatest dance ending and the
Yeah,
dance ending, the characters dancing at the end cliche.
you know what? Let's just jump into the ending. So like I could talk about every little thing about this 2010 movie, but like really it's just the standard like loser dog learns to appreciate what's been there the whole time or whatever. I don't really remember. Who cares? Anyway, yeah, it ends on a dance scene. Um and it's a commercial.
It's like, so like the dog say, "That's what I like about you."
Yeah, so there's a dog dance scene, which was horrifying, by the way. The CGI was the worst at that time.
Beautiful,
It was
like
just, it was,
like peak beautiful.
oh my god, it was horrifying. I'm just like, duh. And the way they move, they're like dead puppets. It was so weird. Yeah, and then they get,
The mouth movements are like too funny to me. Just like I can't get enough of them.
oh god, the mouth movements for most of the movie I could forgive because it's just like okay, you're just moving mouths, whatever. But then like you have like full articulated CGI dogs dancing to "That's What I Like About You," and then yeah, so like they're dancing, and then occasionally the music stops for like characters to say something, and then it goes back into the dance scene, and then it ends with like the pet food logo because that's the company that Phil was working for, as if like that's the commercial. It's like okay, was the whole thing the commercial? Was like the dogs talking part of it? Like what? It's edited so weirdly. Like what was all that about? I don't understand. You
And
get
then it ends with
you get
Marmaduke
such
Farm.
enjoyment out of hearing me rant about this movie. I can tell.
Yep. And then the movie ends with Marmaduke farting.
Oh yes,
What
that's
a movie!
what a movie.
What a cinematic achievement!
Oh, it's look. Here's the thing. I had fun. I had fun making fun of it because it is a stupid 2010 nonsensical kids movie that I don't think anybody involved in that movie has thought about it since. Like, do you think Owen Wilson looks back and it was just like I was in Marmaduke?
Like, yeah, just I don't like just wait till he's done with the MCU.
That's true. That's true. I don't think he will. I don't think anybody involved with this movie even I don't even think they remember being a part of this movie. Like it's just kind of forgotten to time. Um which I mean makes sense, you know. There's really nothing to gain from it. It's just a dumb movie from the 2010s.
And
I will.
I mean that is such a shame. This movie is on the same level as Freebirds, though.
Oh god, this movie's closer to Freebirds than Freebirds is to us. Because Freebirds was 2013. It's 10 years old this year.
Like like holy shit! Just like I can literally imagine myself like Matt Damon agenting Saving Private Ryan, literally me when Freebirds is about to turn 10.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I remember when Freebirds first came out.
Like
Jesus.
I actually saw that in theaters. I'm not
Did you?
kidding.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
That's funny.
And
That's
I
funny.
like saw most animated films that came out that year
Okay. Well, there
in
you
the
go.
theater.
Yeah. So, I'm running on fumes talking about Marmaduke. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about the 2010 movie?
Uh, it's like one of the greatest cinematic achievements ever conceived. And anybody who hasn't seen Marmaduke 2010, go watch it, please. It's like the one of the greatest ironic guilty pleasures ever made.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I did have fun making fun of it, and I did get a little bit of the nostalgic tingles when I was like listening to like some of the music from that time. And just like it just reminds me of a bygone era where like California was like the coolest place on earth, and it was like, oh, we got sunglasses, we're so cool, cell phones are a new thing, YouTube's this new
And,
thing.
and celebrities playing CGI
Yeah,
animals.
it's I don't want to say I want to go back to it because I don't think I want to go back to that era, but at the same time, I kind of
I
miss it.
mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. So, all right. To wrap up our discussion on Marmaduke 2010, I always like to wrap up our discussions by talking about whether we want to keep these movies. So, this is an example of a movie I do have on DVD. I have the movie that I got for 97 cents uh, in my possession.
Like I too have this movie on DVD. Like I got that DVD not long ago. That's
Yeah.
how committed I am to like
Yeah.
shilling Marmaduke 2010.
Yeah, you're committed to the bit. I am not. Look, would I ever watch this movie again? Maybe, but not out of my own volition. And you know what? This is such a crappy DVD. It cost me 97 cents, this DVD.
I don't know, just like, and probably that maybe will happen if you ever tell Shafe about this movie existing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if James will ever be interested in watching this. Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe I'll
Probably
make him
not.
watch it someday, but as for the DVD, I am not keeping this. I don't care if it costs me 97 cents. I can't. I can't with this movie. It's not one that I hold like I do hold some ironic value to it, but not enough that I would want it in my collection. So this is a not keep, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. You're more committed to the bit than I ever will be.
I'm more
Um,
committed than anybody that anybody that I know about our
that's
box.
very true. I mean, you're the only one who had the. Well, I don't think you have the Marmaduke logo anymore.
I mean, like Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja's a whole other story that
That's
like,
true.
or that's for another day. That's for another day.
That's okay. I think I might for when I edit the podcast and I have the profile picture to represent us. I think I still want to use the Marmaduke one because I associate that one with you the most. um,
All right, you could just use like you could just screenshot the Marmaduke on like the fall poster on Letterbox.
yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. Well, speaking of Marmaduke, we just finished our discussion of Marmaduke. Now let's talk about a different movie called Marmaduke. And
Netflix, the Netflix one.
listen, this is a whole other beast from the 2010 movie. Here's the thing. When I was like, oh, we get to talk about the 2010 movie because I have it on DVD, then let's talk about the Netflix movie because it's also a Marmaduke movie. It's like, oh, this will be funny. We'll talk about two terrible children's movies. No. No. You tricked me into watching. I don't even know what the fuck I watched with Marmaduke 2022. This is all your fault. You motherfucker. Well, we watched Marmaduke 2022. How many times have you watched Marmaduke 2022? So you said you watched the 2010 one 6 times in the last year. How many times have you watched the 2022 one?
Or
4. 4.
and probably gonna become 5 when I rewatch this on a year anniversary instead of Multiverse and Madness because like can you imagine?
Oh my god. When is the 1 year anniversary for this movie?
May 4th, like
May
same
4th?
like yes, like I saw Multiverse of Madness later that day and like ah,
Oh my god. So, I need to explain this to people. So yeah, Marmaduke 2022. So, what would it would be like 12 years go by where the 2010 movie was the only mainstream version of Marmaduke there is. All we have is the 2010 movie. Some person, I don't even know if I should describe him as a genius, as a madman, as a psychopath. Some psychopath at Netflix was just like, hey, let's make a Marmaduke movie because, why not? We're Netflix. We're so devoid of any creativity and originality, and we're just, shitting money at this point into debt. Let's just keep this train on fire going, man. So they made a Marmaduke movie, completely animated this time, with Pete Davidson as Marmaduke.
yep, yeah,
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Now, I really was not expecting anything from this movie. I was just expecting a dumb children's Netflix animated movie. I've seen animated movies from Netflix before. Wish Dragon, Vivo, Mitchell's versus the Machines, others. At
Oh yeah,
worst.
Netflix. Like, I mean, like stuff like the Sony's films from 2021 or
Mm-hmm.
the Sea Beast. Like, those are like some of like Netflix's only exceptions for like creativity. And then just like
Sure.
with Marmaduke, like this, like they were originally going to make a Bone series and a whole bunch of stuff, and like they like all of those got canceled, and they still allowed this thing to get made. And I'm
Yeah. Well, here's the
beyond
thing.
baffled.
Like,
I'm so
yeah,
baffled that like they went through with letting this movie exist and not like a Bone
yeah,
series.
it's quite fitting that we're talking about this movie because within the past couple of months, stuff like Inside Job got canned, and that had like a bit of a following, and people were pissed. They're just like, why did this show get canceled and not any of these things? It's just like, yeah, wait a minute, they canceled Inside Job, they canceled all these beloved shows, yet they still went ahead and made an animated Marmaduke movie.
Yeah, and yeah, just like and then like with us like the Inside Job, like I'm actually really curious in seeing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me start off by saying that Marmaduke has the worst character designs I have seen in a movie. Well, one of the worst. I'm baffled by the character design in this movie. So they all just look ugly. They all have like toothpicks for arms and legs for really no reason. Like the comic strip does not look anything like that.
Yep. And then just like we don't need like do we have to explain it? Just look up an image of the movie or like see a clip and it pretty much like explains like how horrendous the animation is, and I love it.
Now, here's the other thing about the character design is that everybody's just like pencil thin or they have like these weird proportions. There is only one character that has not toothpick legs, and that's the mother character, who is, as the kids say, dummy thick. And here, I have a theory about the mother character, okay? I have this crackpot theory about the mother character. So, for whatever reason, every character just looks the same. They're like these tall, stocky characters. They have pencil thin arms and legs. They look ugly. But the mom, for some reason, has like these voluptuous hips and voluptuous ass. And my theory is that some character designer got really horny one day, made that, and submitted it as a joke. And the producers or whoever was in charge of okaying that, instead of firing the guy, put it in the movie because they thought, hey, whenever a terrible animated movie gets talked about online, sometimes the horny people comment on how thick a character is. They're just like, wow, she's dummy thick. Wow, this is great. And it culminates in publicity for the movie that wasn't there before. So now, even though it's bad press, because people are like, why the fuck is this in a kid's movie? Even though it's bad press, they're still talking about the movie. Like, we're still talking about it. So
And
we wouldn't
think about this. Just think about this. Just like
we wouldn't be
what
talking about the mother's character design if she didn't have such a fat ass.
just like think about this. It's like Netflix Netflix was involved with Klaus and the Sea Beast, like, and yeah, think about that. Netflix was involved with those.
Yeah, this is the most cynical made movie. Even I guarantee you that's why they made the mother look like that. For just the most cynical purposes. They're just like, oh, we're not really going to try with anything. Let's make this controversial so then people can talk about it. Um, Case in point, there's also other scenes that back me up on this. The fart scene.
Yep, like there's like a scene where like the villain of the movie that like tricked Marmaduke into eating a whole bunch of food, and and Marmaduke tries to hold it in with like during the big dog show and he couldn't, so he decides like he couldn't run to couldn't run to the fire hydrant, so like he decided to take the biggest dump in the trophy, and the giant fart cloud,
This giant
like and then
green
like
cloud.
he literally confirms that there were 500 people there to witness the fart.
Oh my god, it was like witnessing a war crime, that scene. I was like baffled. I was horrified and I couldn't look away. I was jaw agape. I was like, what is this? This is
Like, I
evil.
know what is this? It's like why is that some of the worst animation I've ever seen? And why do I find it this ironically funny? Why?
And then beyond that, what happens afterwards when the uh dog trainer who is training Marmaduke quits but still sends them the bill? You know exactly which scene I'm talking about.
Like it has something to do with a certain Lucasfilm franchise.
They make a Star Wars joke. They have the father look at this bill. He starts reading the fucking bill, and it's going at a super lightning pace, and then for no reason it turns the text yellow, and now it's in space, and then it's a Star Wars crawl joke, and you're just like, what? And it's over before it even started, and you're like, what was that? It was the most confusing Star Wars joke I have ever seen in a movie ever. Like, what?
Like, how did the animators have that much time to write that many words and then it's been like a 5 second scene?
Who came up with that? Like, who thought that was a good idea? Like,
Uh, the director of Spawn,
the
which is like
director of Frankenfish, apparently. Yeah, fun fact: the director of
the
this movie.
director of Garfield Gets
Yeah,
Real.
He's been all over the place. The director of this movie, I forget his name. It's like Mark something or other. He directed, yeah, Spawn, and he directed Frankenfish, a movie I've talked about on this podcast before. So yeah, this is my second Mark, whatever his name's is movie. I'm not even looking up his name. I don't care. I just Star Wars crawl joke. Like, who comes up with that? Like, that's so strange to me.
A genius came up with that.
Oh, next thing, the penis shape in the mist. So there's a scene where a Chinese dog, because, the Chinese dog has to be this kung fu master, because, haha, he's Chinese. So there's a scene where he's getting out of his limo. They open up the limo, and this puff cloud of mist comes out, and in that puff of mist is like a cloud shape in the shape of a dick. I'm not kidding. I took a screenshot. I posted it on my Twitter. It's there. I am not insane.
And that dog can literally use the Force.
Yeah, he uses
I'm
the
not
Force.
kidding. Like, hear my words. That dog used the Force.
There's no other way to describe it.
A few times during the film.
There's no other way to describe it. He used the Force. I'm just... I can't.
And that was and just like you even assisted revealing taking down the villain dog.
Yeah.
And like want to know who the villain of the movie is voiced by?
Please tell them.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, a real actor.
Yes.
Terrence Fletcher, J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's the villain dog. And he does a good job. He does a good performance.
Why is he even even the worst shit he tries. The guy's been in Chippendale Rescue Rangers, a film that I unironically hate more.
Yeah, oh yeah, here's the thing. I know, so when I posted my review for this on Letterboxd, one of the first comments I got was people being like, "Oh, where does this rank among your 2022 list?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess I'd watch it over Chippendale, so it's definitely better than that."
You also told me in VC you'd take it over Paws of Fury.
Oh yeah, so I've talked about Paws of Fury on this podcast, and that's definitely what I was expecting from this movie. Just an all-around cynical, awful cash grab, stupid kids movie that nobody talks about a year from now. But there's something interesting about this Marmaduke movie. It's so cynical that I can't even comprehend its level of cynicism.
And what Paws of Fury's casting, you got your Michael Cera, Samuel Jackson, Michelle Yeoh, and then they even Mel Brooks. They even got Mel Brooks, he's almost 100.
Yeah,
and he'll be 100 in a few years. And they got him back because Paws of Fury is modern Blazing Saddles, and with Marmaduke, you'll never see an anime film like Marmaduke anywhere.
No.
This film got Pete Davidson, J.K. Simmons, and you want to say who voices Phil?
Which one was Phil? Oh, wait, the dad. I remember. Yeah, David Koechner. What's his name?
Yep, one of the main characters. Champ Kind from Anchorman.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in a couple of things. I think he was in Krampus, if I remember correctly. But
yes, he was in Krampus.
Yeah, he was. So he's been in movies.
And Snakes on a Plane and Paul, the movie with the Seth Rogen alien.
Oh, so he hasn't been in
And Barnyard.
Wait, he was in Barnyard?
Barnyard!
Oh my god, wait a minute. He was in Barnyard. He was the coyote or something, right?
What? What?
Oh
I
my.
haven't seen Barnyard in the longest time.
Oh my god. See, Barnyard is what I was expecting. Well, Barnyard is from my generation, so I have quite a bit of nostalgia for Barnyard. But like, that's what I was expecting. Like, just a cynically made movie. But again, like I said, I can't even comprehend this movie's cynicism. Like, it's on a whole other level. It's on a whole other plane. Just like, I'm baffled by the decisions of this movie. The penis cloud, the Star Wars crawl reference, the mom and her fat ass, the fart scene, the he's just
And
like me
oh,
after Taco Tuesday
wait,
line.
wait. What about the Matrix style fight scene
The Matrix style fight
that
scene.
Marmaduke and his trainer have? Like they have a Matrix style fight scene, and
Yeah.
I'm stunned of how like disastrous and amazing it was.
Yeah, so Bad Clips was with us. Shout out to Bad Clips. He described it the best. He said, what did he say? It was deranged and amazing, right? That's how he described it?
Yep, that's what he said. Just
Yeah.
like,
That's the best way to describe this movie. It is deranged and amazing. I've
yep,
never seen a movie this bad, and yet I'm so fascinated by how bad it is. Like, don't get me wrong, it's bad. It's worse than the 2010 movie, but it's also a whole other beast. Like, I'm almost more fascinated by this movie than I am the last one. Like, if this one was on Blu-ray, I'd honestly probably own it just because of how terrible and amazing it is. Like, it's beyond description. It's beyond
yes,
words.
yeah. So like, and then like with this film, like, I don't like major hot take, there's like 20 films from last year that I unironically hate more than it. And it doesn't make me feel it doesn't make me feel insulted or infuriating like Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love of Thunder, Buck Wild, Minions: Rise of Gru. And it doesn't make Pinocchio like the Pinocchio remake, Chip and Dale, Halloween Ends. Doesn't make me feel absolutely nothing like Jurassic World Dominion, Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And it's not like disgusting like they them and men. Do we need to say anything about they them and men?
No. No. I mean, I didn't see They Them, but I don't want to ever watch it because it looks
Uh,
terrible.
if you heard word, and don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's when we
like
don't have
and
to.
just like the Netflix's Marmaduke's insanity. Just like if you just if you just watch the film and to like see every single piece of insanity, you'll see why I like find this to be a guilty pleasure in my eyes.
Yeah. I almost recommend it. I really do. Because
I I 100% do recommend it.
I don't know. I just it's weird for me to just like judge this movie because I can't. Like I'm still trying to form my opinions on it because like it's just
And
fascinating.
and also another hot take, like Marmaduke 2022 has much more appealing visuals than like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And like if you guys want to know my thoughts on that film, go look on my letterbox review of it.
Yeah.
Just go look for yourself and like I cannot express my thoughts in like that film right now because like Marmaduke is the focus.
Ugh.
Marmaduke is the focus.
Marmaduke is always the focus. Our
Yep.
lives are now Marmaduke, now and forever, apparently.
Yep.
Um, one last thing I want to mention about 2022. I guess we could talk about like everything, but really, it just the best thing I can say about these movies is you just have to watch them to. You just have to watch the Marmaduke 2022 to believe me. But like one last thing I want to give a shout out to, Phil Nibelink co-directed this, and when I saw that, I was stunned. So a little backstory.
Like let's see, Phil Nibbleneck.
Yeah,
Like
he's directed a couple of things.
he American Tail, Five Goes West, which I've never seen. Back a Dinosaur Story, and Romeo and Juliet, Sealed with a Kiss, which also I've never seen.
So I've seen the Romeo and
What's
Juliet one.
Puss in Boot? What the hell is?
He
And
directed a
like
Puss in Boots.
it's 1999.
But anyway, so he directed Romeo and Juliet Sealed with a Kiss, and a good friend of mine and fellow Shea Frillis editor, Jess, or Lavender Whaley, I think she goes by now. Anyway, she discovered this movie, and she's been showing it to us in the Shave Gang, just this weird Romeo and Juliet Seal movie. And it's directed by Phil Nibelink, and he did like everything for it. He animated it himself, he directed it, he wrote it, he produced it. He like did everything for it. It was all done by like him and like, a couple other people, but like he was the main force of that movie. And my god, like, well, it's not great, but the fact that one person made it is very impressive. But the
Yep,
fact
and
that he co-directed this, oh my god, man.
and let's see the other two co-directors. This guy, he produced, like, you may have heard of these, like Arctic Dogs, Spark a Space Tale,
Oh.
The Reef 2, High Tide,
Oh
and then
no.
let's see the third guy. Uh, he only worked on this.
Oh, that's his only claim to fame. You know what? I mean, once you reach the top, where do you go from there?
I mean, you just can't get higher than this.
You really can't. You really, really can't. Oh my god. So yeah, if there's
And
anything,
I'm looking at a producer. He produced Mitchell's versus the Machines and Vivo
yeah.
before this.
Well, that's probably because like he's probably a
Uh,
Netflix producer.
yeah, probably. Yeah, this most likely.
Yeah.
But like Mitchell's versus the Machines, the best.
Oh my god, it's insanity, man. It's total insanity. I have such a my brain is frying right now just having to even talk about Mitchell's versus the Machine. See, it's frying. I'm talking about Marmaduke, and it's trying to replace something better. Oh my god. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Marmaduke 2022, ZaMovieDude?
uh, it's nowhere near on the same ironic epicness as 2010. But go watch it for yourself, please.
Honestly, yeah. Please watch it if you have never watched it. It's something. It is like no other movie I've watched for the podcast. It is like no other movie I have ever seen in my life. It is cynical, yet you have to experience it. You have to.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe you talked me into
And
this.
yep, I know I still have that hot take of I still take this over the shit modern MCU and a lot of legacy sequels like Jurassic World Dominion or Scream 5 or Halloween Ends. I mean that. I
Yeah.
mean that.
In a weird way, I probably prefer the this one too. I don't even know anymore. All right. ZaMovieDude. Plug your stuff. Where can people find you?
Letterbox, that's it. It's
Letterboxd?
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a movie, dude.
Hey,
And
well,
and probably if you probably heard my name, if you've seen my Puss in Boots: The Last Wish review, seen by Letterbox and DreamWorks.
yeah, hey, let's talk about that actually before we get going. Like, yeah, your review was featured in on the Puss in Boots 2 Instagram page.
I'm honestly shocked.
Yeah.
I never asked for this, but I'm shocked.
Yes. No, that was awesome that they showed it. I mean, because because you gave the movie a positive score. I feel like they were just
You know how many times I watched this movie?
how many?
8.
8. Wow. So more than Marmaduke 2022.
I mean, cause with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I can't describe how much is the best animated film I've seen in recent years, and the best DreamWorks film since the original How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, no, I agree. It has yet to be an episode on my podcast someday, but someday it will be. But yeah, everybody go follow ZaMovieDude on Letterboxd to get your fix on him just watching Marmaduke for the rest of his life.
But
Well,
like again, there's other guilty pleasures that haven't been talked about in this channel yet. Batman Ninja, Cats and Dogs, not yet. Minion, not yet.
oh, someday, maybe. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you for coming on this podcast, talking about these crazy fucking movies. Thank you for ruining my life, but for introducing me to Marmaduke 2022. No, I'm kidding. I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, couldn't be more happier that like another person has experienced these two atrocities that I love.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. And thank you, the listeners out there, for listening. If you want to support the show, give a like, give a comment, listen to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. I'm tired. I want to go to bed now. So, good night, everybody. See ya.
Bye. Just